Hello, NACC fans. As we head into the final week of the regular season after a fun and exciting week last week, we're going to jump right into it. Dominican traveled to Marion and snapped their 7-game losing streak with a 77-60 road win at Marion. Jackson Smith continues his hot, consistent play with 21 points and 6 rebounds for the Stars. Dylan Anderson with 10. And off the bench, Nick Lever and KJ Redfield both with 16. Marion was led by Matt Hickey with 11. Dominican was plus 5 in points off turnovers, plus 8 in fast break points. Marion was plus 8 in the paint, plus 6 in second chance, plus 10 off the bench, and plus 13 in rebounds. The key stat here was Dominican forced 20 Marion turnovers. And shot the ball really well from the floor. 57% from the floor, 39% from 3, and 78% from the free throw line. Marion shot 41% from the field, 17% from 3, and 61% from the free throw line. CU Dub got a huge win at home, 102-94 over Wisconsin Lutheran. CU Dub was led by Jordan Johnson with 33. Joey Zietlow with 25, Jared Jers with 13, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists. Brandon Keller with 12, and Old Lake and George with 10. Wisconsin Lutheran got a huge game off the bench from Drew Bernhagen with 30 points and 5 rebounds. Andrew Brudnick with 20 points, Alex Van Crete and Colin Biesterfield both with 10. Concordia, Wisconsin did force 16 Wisconsin Lutheran turnovers and were plus 6 off those turnovers, as well as being plus 4 in second chance points. Wisconsin Lutheran was plus 8 in points in the paint, plus 6 in fast break points, and plus 38 in points off the bench. Wisconsin Lutheran shot 51% from the field, 29% from 3, and 67% from the free throw line, while Concordia, Wisconsin was 55% from the field, 41% from 3, and 75% from the free throw line. So, that's a key loss for Wisconsin Lutheran on the road, but there was also another win, big win, on the midweek game. Michael Petroff hit a pull-up baseline fadeaway jumper to beat Benedictine 65-64 in overtime. MSU was led by Matt Kermsey with 21 points and 12 rebounds, followed by 10 from Michael Petroff. Benedictine was led by Eric Grugo with 18 points and 13 rebounds, followed by 11 from Kenny Bogus and Keegan Graebner, as well as 10 from Kyle Graebner. MSU is plus 6 in points off turnovers and plus 3 in bench production. Benedictine was plus 8 in fast break points and plus 3 in rebounds. Benedictine shot 38% from the field, 21% from 3, and 56% from the free throw line, while MSU shot 42% from the field, 22% from 3, and 79% from the free throw line. IIT got a big win to keep themselves in a potential NAC tournament berth. At Edgewood, 66-56. 17 points from Ahmad Muhammad, 13 points and 20 rebounds from Max Hizataki, 14 points from Milos Dugalic, and 10 from Otis Reales off the bench. Edgewood was led by Jake Nagus with 19, Ben Seafield 18. Edgewood with just 5 turnovers on the night. IIT was plus 12 in the paint, plus 7 off the bench, and plus 11 in rebounds. Edgewood was plus 7 in points off turnovers, plus 1 in second chance points, and plus 8 in fast break points. IIT shot 48% from the field, 45% from 3, and 79% from the free throw line, while Edgewood shot 34% from the field, 36% from 3, and 85% from the free throw line. Aurora got a win to help themselves out as well. 87-80 at home over Lakeland. Big-time game by freshman Shamar Pumphrey with 25 points and 5 rebounds, followed by 14 from Michael Finley, Justin Wierzak with 13, and Will Hughes with 6 points and 13 rebounds. Lakeland was led by Eric Jordan off the bench with 22 points, followed by 15 from Trent Nickel and 12 from Carlos Campos. Aurora won the rebounding battle 47-32. Points in the paint as well, plus 32. Points off of turnovers were plus 5, and second chance points were plus 5 as well. Lakeland was plus 4 in fast break and plus 13 in bench points. Lakeland attempted 41 three-point attempts on the night. Not surprising at the high number because Coach Schrader and their staff gives a lot of freedom for their guys to make shots. And with Aurora's press, I am sure that a lot of open, quick threes were available, and they took advantage of them. On the night, Lakeland shot 43% from the field, 42% from three, but just 50% from the free throw line. Aurora shot 50% from the field, 29% from three, and 77% from the free throw line. Rockford at Concordia, Chicago. A Brandon Emmerich coast-to-coast, uncontested pretty much layup at the end of regulation forced overtime, and Rockford came away with a 100-95 win. Rockford was led by Cavante Shaw with 25 points on 7 of 11 shooting from the field, 4 for 4 from 3, with 3 of them coming late in the end of regulation, as well as going 7 for 7 from the free throw line. 6 rebounds and 4 assists. Brandon Emmerich with 23 points on 7 of 11 shooting from 3. Nate Shedd continuing his strong play off the bench with 16. Jamar Rivera with 15 points and 7 rebounds. CUC got a monster game from Exo Golding with 32 points and 6 rebounds. Rashawn Amos with 25 points and 6 rebounds as well. Neil O'Donnell with 16 and Brent Hatton with 11. Concordia Chicago was plus 6 in the paint and plus 9 in second chance. Rockford was plus 10 in points off of turnovers, plus 3 in fast break points, and plus 18 in bench points. Rockford shot 50% from the field, 53% from three-point line, and 95% from the free throw line. Concordia Chicago shot 48% from the field, 32% from three, and 60% from the free throw line, with a couple misses late at the end of regulation. So, all those games made Saturday's games very interesting and crucial. Benedictine went to Lakeland and came away with a 73-70 win. Eric Griego had another double-double on the week, 19 points and 11 rebounds, followed by 14 points and 6 rebounds from Kenny Bogus, 11 from Kyle Grabner, and Cade Ellington led Benedictine with 20 points off the bench. Trent Nickel with 13 points and 8 rebounds for the Muskies, 12 from Carlos Campos, 10 from Isaac Anderson, and off the bench, Zach Hazenstein with 10 as well. Benedictine was plus 6 in the paint and plus 2 off the bench. Lakeland was plus 3 in points off of turnovers, plus 3 in second chance, and plus 9 in fast break. Benedictine shot 43% from the field, 30% from 3, and 74% from the free throw line, while Lakeland shot 37% from 3, 33% from the three-point line, and 84% from the free throw line. I know in a previous podcast, I talked about Benedictine and Aurora being the really only true rivalry in the NACC, and I need to apologize for that statement because the Dominican and Concordia Chicago is a very interesting rivalry as well. They have the River Forest Cup, which spans all sports through the fall, winter, and spring. It's right down the street. They refer to each other as a school down the road. So it's very unique. It's very interesting. And I'm going to throw it in there as one of the true rivalries in the NACC as well. Dominican got a big road win, 70-67 at Concordia Chicago. Tyler Guest with another monster game, 15 points and 14 rebounds. Jackson Smith with 19 points and 6 rebounds. And Luke McDermott with 14 points on 4 of 7 shooting from 3. Exo Golding continuing his strong play in the week. Him and Rashawn Amos both had 17 points. Brent Hatton with 14 points and 6 rebounds. And Charlie Resnikoff with 11. CUC forced 16 Dominican turnovers. But Dominican was plus 8 in points in the paint, plus 14 in fast break points, and plus 1 in bench production. CUC was plus 3 in second chance points. Dominican shot 46% from the field, 33% from the 3, and 86% from the free throw line, while Concordia Chicago shot 38% from the 3, or from the field, 39% from the 3, and 50% from the free throw line. Aurora at IIT. IIT got a win that keeps them right there in the hunt for a NACC tournament berth. Big win breaks a tiebreaker right now currently with Aurora. They got a 70-66 win. IIT was led by Miles Curry with 21 points, followed by Milos Dugalic with 17 points and 13 rebounds. Ahmad Muhammad with 19, and Max Hizataki with 10 and 13. Wisconsin Lutheran went to Marion, came away with a 75-66 win. Drew Bernhagen continued his strong play with 25 points. Andrew Brudnick with 20 points and 7 rebounds, and Andrew Wojcik and Alex Van Cree both with 10. DeAndre Ross and Justin Wilson both with 20 for the Sabres. Wisconsin Lutheran was +5 in points off turnovers, +3 in second chance points, +5 in fast break points, and +8 in rebounds. Marion was +6 in the paint and +27 off the bench. Wisconsin Lutheran shot 39% from the field, 35% from 3, and 90% from the free throw line. Marion shot 42% from the field, 46% from the 3, and 77% from the field. Concordia, Wisconsin got a much-needed win to keep themselves in pace for a potential conference championship with an 88-77 win over MSOE. Another huge game from Jordan Johnson, 31 points and 7 rebounds. Joey Zietlow with 16 points, and Jared Jers with 12 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. MSOE was led by Michael Petroff with 21 points and 5 rebounds. Matt Kermsey with 20 points and 4 rebounds. Gabe Ware with 11, and Travis Ballard with 10 points and 5 rebounds. Concordia, Wisconsin was +7 in second chance points, +9 in fast break, +6 in bench, and +7 in rebounds. MSOE was +2 in the paint and +6 points off of turnovers. CU Dub shot 53% from the field, 32% from the 3, and 86% from the free throw line. MSOE was 47% from the field, 17% from 3, and 100% from the free throw line. Congratulations to Coach Cassidy on becoming the all-time winningest coach in CU Dub history with 216 career wins. Coach is a great guy. He was huge for helping me out during my time as a coach. I have a lot of respect for him and his program, and it's a great accomplishment for him. Edgewood went on the road at Rockford and came away with a 99-92 win. Matt Myers came off the bench for Edgewood, scored 22 points on 6 of 8 shooting from the three-point line. Ben Seafield with 21 points. Jake Negus with 17 points and 5 rebounds. Ryan Buss with 15 points and 8 rebounds. And Avery Lyons with 11. Rockford was led by Cavante Shaw with 20 points and 10 rebounds. Nate Shedd with 20 points. PJ Gray and Brandon Emmerich both with 10. Jamar Rivera with a double-double, 11 points and 12 rebounds. Edgewood was +4 in points off turnovers and committing just 11 turnovers themselves, but forced 14 Rockford turnovers. Rockford was +20 in the paint, +15 in second chance points, and +1 in bench production. Edgewood shot 52% from the field, 44% from 3, and 77% from the free throw line. Rockford shot 50% from the field, 37% from the three-point line, and 60% from the free throw line. So that recaps all of last week's games, leading into the final 2 games of the NACC regular season. Conference championship potentially being decided tomorrow night, Wisconsin Lutheran at Benedictine. Tied right now going into the last 2 games. Obviously, a second head-to-head matchup with Wisconsin Lutheran winning at home earlier in the season. Big game. Watch it. You're going to see 2 talented teams, 2 of the best, most consistent teams throughout the season, and it's going to be a great game. Marion travels to Concordia, Chicago. Both teams eliminated from NACC tournament potential. Dominican at MSOE. Big game here. MSOE is currently 9-9 in the conference standings, tied with Lakeland and Rockford with the 1-game lead over IIT, with a 2-game lead over Edgewood and Aurora. So big game there to keep an eye on. Dominican, throw the record out the window. You know they're going to play hard. They've gotten good, consistent play from the starting lineup with some key contributions off the bench. I think that game could get interesting if everybody from Dominican shows up. Also, Matt Kermsey, congratulations on going over 1,500 career points at MSOE. Forgot to mention that earlier. Between him and Michael Petroff, a very good backcourt combo. So it's going to be a good game. Looking for a close score there. IIT at Concordia, Wisconsin. IIT needs to get both games this week, and it would be huge to get the one at CU Dub because that would allow them to have a tiebreaker potentially over Rockford if they were to tie who they play on Saturday. Edgewood at Aurora. Both teams have an outside chance of potentially maybe sliding into that conference tournament, but one is going to be eliminated after tomorrow night's game. The winner still has a chance with some help, and they also have to take care of business on Saturday. Lakeland at Rockford, 9-9. I believe I've looked at the tiebreaker, and things get really interesting there. But I think the winner tomorrow night could potentially secure their berth in the conference tournament. So a lot of good games tomorrow night with Wisconsin Lutheran and Benedictine, Marion at Concordia, Chicago, Dominican at MSOE, IIT at Concordia, Wisconsin, Edgewood at Aurora, and Lakeland at Rockford. Saturday's game, final regular season game of the NACC men's basketball season. Lakeland at Dominican, Concordia, Chicago at Aurora, Wisconsin Lutheran at Edgewood, Benedictine at Concordia, Wisconsin, MSOE at Marion, and IIT at Rockford. So depending on how things go tomorrow night, it's really could get interesting on Saturday. Really could get interesting on Saturday with matchups and NACC tournament bursts and all of that coming into play. So, again, get out there and watch them, follow them, whether it's live stats, pulling multiple games up on browsers as I've done throughout the season, and enjoy it. Okay, enjoy it before we get into the NACC tournament next week. So, just want to kind of jump off topic after we've talked about the recap of last week, a little bit of a preview for this week's games. The regional rankings have now come out in their second week. Benedictine, who obviously has been in and out of the top 25 over the last 2 months, they're right on the fringe. I think this week they received 12 votes after falling out after the loss at MSOE. Which in my opinion is not a bad loss. A tough tough conference game on the road, but that also kind of shows that the NACC, in sometimes rightfully so, doesn't get as much respect as it should. It also showcases the fact that the region that the NACC is in is probably one of the toughest regions out there. Why? You have the WEAC schools, all the UW schools. You have the CCIW, as well as the Midwest. The Midwest is, a similar conference, but you have St. Norbert, who's, I believe, this week is ranked number 20 in that conference as well. Lake Forest, another tough team out of there. So it's a good conference. And then obviously, traditionally, you have the UW schools as well as the CCIW schools who, get multiple teams into the NCAA tournament. Usually fare pretty well, make it pretty deep, with UW Oshkosh winning it last year, runner-up the year before. Illinois Wesleyan's been in the Final Four. Augustana's been in the Final Four in a championship game. Yes, Benedictine's been in a championship game before as well, but it's the only team that's made it that far, with only a few teams that have won an NCAA tournament game. But going back to regional rankings, strength of schedule is huge. It's everything about regional rankings. You could be 20-4. Benedictine has a great record with 18-5 right now, and their non-conference schedule, they played three teams that have won 18 plus games. St. Norbert, top 20 team in the country right now, currently 20-3. Benedictine beat them earlier in the season. They played Laterno down in Memphis in a tournament, who's currently 18-5, as well as getting a win at North Central. Remember, at North Central, who's currently 19-4, ranked top 15 in the country. I believe they just won the CCIW championship. So that's 3 wins against very good opponents, with St. Norbert and North Central both in the same region. So that's 2 regional wins against top 25 teams. Another win they had was Rhodes on the road at Memphis, down in Memphis. The only non-conference loss they had was to Hope, who's traditionally a very good program. They're right around the top 25, usually. Great historical program, but they are currently 11-12. So, some of that kind of comes into play. Wisconsin Lutheran, their strength of schedule is kind of tough. They went 3-2 in their non-conference, but all 3 wins were to teams that were below 500. North Central Minnesota is 5-18. Finlandia is 1-21. Martin Luther is 5-18 as well. The other 2 teams that they played and lost to, Northwestern out of Minnesota is 17-6, and then Beloit, who is currently 8-15. So those are the top 2 teams in our conference, with Concordia, Wisconsin, as well. They went 1-4 in their non-conference play. A tough non-conference schedule. They played 4 teams that currently have winning records. UW La Crosse lost to. They lost to them, who's currently 18-5. Loris is 17-6. Wartburg is 9-14 out of the American Rivers Conference, and then the Concordia, Nebraska, who's 19-9. Their lone win was down in Florida against Co., who is 14-9. So they had a challenging non-conference schedule as well. Just didn't get the wins that they needed. Otherwise, they could potentially be up there in regional rankings as well, being only 1 game out of first place right now in the NACC, and then obviously playing a pretty tough non-conference schedule. So all that comes into play, and you're like, Andrew, what does this matter? Well, here's how it breaks down. There was 28 games played by NACC teams in the non-conference against teams that have winning records right now. The NACC was 7-21 in those games, with 3 of those 7 wins coming from Benedictine. Okay, 3 of those 7 wins are coming from one team. So, how did they fare against opponents that have below 500 records? The NACC went 18-14. So there's a lot of things that come into play. There's a lot of things that come into play when scheduling these games. Everybody has their own philosophy, and there's nothing wrong with it. You go out there and you can go out there and schedule 5 wins. You can go out there and schedule 5 very tough opponents, or you can kind of, say, hey, we're going to challenge ourselves with 2 games against top opponents, and we're going to go out there and try to get 3 wins. It all depends on each program, each athletic department, each coach. Individual coach has it. But things could potentially become very interesting, because right now Benedictine is 3rd in regional rankings, with only 6 teams getting in the NACC tournament. If Benedictine handles their business this week, they're going to finish 1st or 2nd in the NACC, which then secures them a first-round bye. So that's 1 less game, but also guarantees a home game in the 2nd round for them. So the question that you have now is, do they still get in if they don't win the conference tournament? I think it depends on if they were to lose, where they lose at. If they lose in the conference championship game, say to Wisconsin Lutheran or Concordia, Wisconsin, or one of the other 3 teams that get in, I think they still get in. Potentially with 20 plus wins on the season, they're 18-5 right now, with 3 guaranteed games left. They could be 20-6. They could be 21-6 heading into the NACC championship game. I think if they lose the NACC championship game, I still think they get in because of their strength of schedule and the fact that they made it to the conference championship game. If they don't make it to the conference championship game and some things happen in other conferences such as the WEAC and the CCIW, with potentially somebody, North Central gets beat in their conference tournament, I think they'll still get an at-large bid. Same thing with a couple schools out of the WEAC as well. That can make things a little bit tougher for the NAC to get 2 teams in. It'll be interesting to see how all that shakes out. I hope we get 2 NAC teams in. It'd be great for the conference, and I think 2 teams getting in. You never know what could happen in the NCAA tournament once you get there. But it also goes back to some coaches in the conference have felt like in the past, we want to get 6 in the conference tournament, or do we want to keep it at 8, which is what it was in the past, and that opens up a whole nother can of worms in another episode there. But again, it's a great conference with great coaches, with great players. It's proven that throughout the year. When you're scheduling these games, you think, okay, man, this team went to the NCAA tournament, they returned this, and this, but you never know. With how Division III is, you just never know what a team has with injuries, with transfers, just things not going your way sometimes. Even if you return, 3 starters from the year before, and you get a big transfer in or a big freshman in, you never know what's going to happen. So you can only control what you control. Take care of your non-conference, win those games, do what you're supposed to do in conference play, and handle business, and you don't have to worry about anything else. So again, big week this week for a lot of teams that are trying to get one of those 6 spots, 3 remaining spots for the NAC tournament. Exciting games. Watch them. Go to the athletic homepage for each of these individual schools. They will send you to their live stats or live video feed and watch them. Enjoy it because it's a great senior class right here that's going to leave their mark at each individual school and on this conference, potentially going down as some of the best players of all time in NAC men's basketball. So enjoy it, and until next week, have a great day.